Hello everyone. In this session I am going to discuss algorithm, pseudocode and flowchart. So first topic, what is algorithm? So what is algorithm? An algorithm is a sequence of finite instruction. That is a step-by-step process instructions that is called the algorithm. So it is a well-defined and a series of successive state. That means, for example, I am going to add two numbers c equal to a plus b. That is a equation. Now I am going to add two numbers and store into the c value. So it is I am going to write with step-by-step instruction of this operation. That is called the algorithm. So it is a input. Now the input value is b and c. So there is a b and c is a input value. Now the operation of the particular step by step is a equal to b plus c. So the addition operation is a main task. There is a doing a task. Then output is the final result. Final result is a output. So it is a process is based on input values and produce the output values. So the properties of algorithm is there are various properties of an algorithm that must the finiteness and the absence of ambiguity, then sequence of definition, input and output definition, and effectiveness, then scope of definition. The first one, the finiteness. What is finiteness? The execution of programmed algorithm must be complete after a finite number of operations. That means the finite number of steps. So the particular operations or one process is going to complete within the number of steps. That is a finiteness. So it should not exceed the n number of steps to solve the problem. So it should be the counted number, that is a finite number of operations. The second one, absence of ambiguity. That means it should be, the algorithm should be readable by human. It should be the understandable by human. That is the main thing. What is the first step? Step is going to perform some one operation, and the second step is going to perform another one operation. So each and every line or instruction should clearly defined and also understandable by human. For example, it is a notational with we can convert in the algorithm into pseudocode and flowchart. So when you are clear about the instruction, then only we can convert into pseudocode or flowchart method. Okay. The next is sequence of definition. So the sequence of definition is algorithm or carried out should be clearly specified. And it should be maybe top to bottom or left to right or anything else. So it started from top and it solved the problem with the instruction and one by one step. So the one by one step instruction is called the algorithm. And input and output definition. So when you are clearly define the input variables, you can proceed and get the corresponding exact output. So the output is based on the input. So the output definition as well as the input definition is so important to declare and write an algorithm. And effectiveness, so it should be the realizable and the given the finite number of input and the output is matched with the corresponding final result. So it should be the effectiveness. If I am writing an algorithm in n number of steps for a single operation, it's not effective. It's not effective. So it means the complex problem is going to solve by writing the finite number of steps of instruction is called the effective algorithm. Okay. So the next properties is the scope definition. So the scope definition is an algorithm applies to the following: the specific problem and the range of input has to be predefined. The range of determines the generally of an algorithm. So the range and the number of input is clearly defined as well as solve the particular problem. That is called the scope of definition. And the algorithm can be expressed in many kind of notations. That is a natural language or a pseudocode or flowchart or programming language. So it should be expressed with various types. And the qualities of good algorithm, that means the input and output, it should be defined precisely. So it entirely based on the input and output. Then only we can apply the or perform some operation to get the output. And also it should not confused with the number of instruction. The instruction should be very clear. That is most important. And the algorithm should be most effective among many different ways to solve the problem. The solve the problem means it is a best way, smart way to solve the problem by read the instructions. An algorithm should not have a computer code. You should not use any computer language in an algorithm. So it should be the instruction. It's like an instruction. Go on to the steps and perform the addition operation and store the value into the another one variable. These are the instructions like that. And the steps involved in algorithm, and the step 1, identification of input, that is the main thing, and the identification of output. So what is output we are going to perform the operation. Then identification of the processing operations. Then step 4, processing definiteness, and finiteness, the last one, effectiveness. So these are the basic steps to develop an algorithm. And write the sample algorithm is, I am going to write an algorithm to add two numbers entered by user. So always please remember the first step should be start. When you are going to write an algorithm, the first step is initiate with the start keyword, and at the end of the algorithm you should write the stop keyword. So the start and stop is the beginning and the ending word. And the step 2, you always, the step 2 is declare the variables, that is the input. Declare the variables is the second step. Always it should be the second step as well as the output variable. Here I want to add two number, the number 1, number 2 and the sum. Here the sum is the storage value. So I perform number 1 addition with number 2 and store into the sum variable. So I declare before you used. So declare variable of number 1, number 2 and sum. Read value of number 1. So I want to read the values. What is the value of number 1 and what is the value of number 2? For example, number 1 value is 5, number 2 value is 10, and step 4. Here it is a operation. What operation? Here I am going to perform the addition operation. So add this is called the instruction. Add number 1 and number 2 and assign to the result to sum. It's going to store. Here the arrow mark is represent the value of number 1 plus number 2 is going to assign sum. Instead of arrow mark, I can use the equal to symbol here. Sum equal to number 1 plus number 2. So it is an operation. This is a fourth step. Then fifth step, display sum. So whenever you have read the input and declare the variable, you should always print the corresponding result. That is very, very important when you are writing an algorithm. So the basic steps are: start is the initial step, and declare the variable or read the input variable is the second step. Then third, operations or a process. Then fourth, display the result or print the result. Then final step is a stop keyword. So it is a simple algorithm to add two numbers entered by user. Okay. The next it is a one of algorithm to convert temperature from Celsius. So it's a temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So Celsius to Fahrenheit means here I just declare what is the code or variable of C and F. Actually I am using the C and F variable inside the algorithm. F and C before used inside the algorithm, I want to declare, I want to define the notation or variable, anything. So you have to define before it is used. So C, temperature in Celsius. F is denotes temperature Fahrenheit. So it is the main thing. Then I start with step 1 start, and finally step 5 is stop. In between I want to read the variable of Celsius, C. So read the C value, and F equal to, that is a calculation, that is a mathematical calculation to convert the Celsius to Fahrenheit. So you can use the operation, and by the step 3, and fourth step, display the result. Display the result means here the result is Fahrenheit. So the Fahrenheit is denoted as F. So C and F keyword I am using inside the algorithm, and before I am using here, I have to declare or define in the top. That is a procedure to write an algorithm. Okay. The next thing, that is a pseudocode. What is pseudocode? Why we use already algorithm is available. Algorithm is one of the concept to solve the problem. Then why we need to write a pseudocode? So the pseudocode is a compact and informal high level description of the computer programming language or algorithm. So it is easy to human readable rather than the machine reading. So but it is a pseudocode means, pseudo means there is a code. Code refers to the instructions or written in the programming language. So it is easy to, code means the programming code, and the pseudocode is algorithm, another programming analysis tool. It is one of the analysis tool that is called PDL, the program design language. Pseudocode is otherwise called the program design language. So the logical structure of pseudocode is very important. So the pseudocode is made up with the following logical structure. What is the logical structure? Why we need the logical structure in pseudocode and algorithm as well as the flowchart? The first logical structure is sequence logical structure. Sequence means, so it is to perform the instruction in sequence. What is sequence? One to another and one after another. I want to perform addition operation of 3 variable a plus b plus c. Then first I want to read all the variable a, b, c. Then add with a and b and b and c. If suppose there is another one value, fourth value is there, c and d and d and e. So it is a continuous process. It is a continuous process until find the result. That is a sequence logic. So there's for sequence logic and pseudocode instructions are written in order, and they are not to be performed. They are to be performed in sequence manner. And the logic flow of pseudocode is top to bottom. It's always start from top and finished with bottom. And the sequence logic, the diagrammatic representation is flowchart. Is a statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. It's a n number of statement. So when the statement 1 is completed, the statement 2 is start. Then when the statement 2 is completed, statement 3 will be start. And also the statement 2 is depend on statement 1 value. Statement 3 is depend on statement 2 value. It is a sequence. It is a sequence logic. If it is not dependent one to each other, it is a independent logic. It is independent logic. But here it is one and another statement is connected. It is relevant or interconnected with each other. So in the pseudocode, write the statement 1 and statement 2, statement 3. Like that you can write a corresponding statement. It is an example of sequence logic. And the selection logic, it is another one process. It is used to making a decision. What I am going to select, either the option 1 or either the option 2. It is a selection process, and it is also known as the decision logic. It is also known as the decision logic, and select the logic. So that is I am using if then and if then else structure. if then and if then else structure. What is if then and what is if then else structure? That is a diagrammatic representation. Here that is a process of the condition. If the condition is true, corresponding one statement is executed. Please note the pseudocode alone here. If, condition, then. So the blue letters are the code. Blue letters are the code or the programming code to write an pseudocode. So if one condition A less than B, A less than B, it is a condition. If the condition is true, corresponding A is smaller, otherwise B is smaller. So it is a sequence 1 is a particular action, sequence 2 has particular action. If the condition is true, corresponding sequence 1 is executed, otherwise the sequence 2 is executed. So only I am using the else. So only I am using else keyword here. And if then, only if then, if the condition is true, corresponding statement execute, otherwise it is end, otherwise it is exit from the loop, exit from the corresponding condition statement. So it is a if then block, if then block. It is a selection logic. So it is decided based on the condition whether the which one process is going to select or not. And iteration, what is iteration? Iteration is used to the procedure of loops. Loop means one single statement is executed several times, that is called the loop. The same statement executed in multiple times based on the condition is called the iteration. So one condition is executed and the corresponding statement is executed repeatedly based on the condition. So here you can use the do while, for and repeat until. So these are the actions. These are the actions to find the method. Find the method. What is do while and what is the logic of for and repeat until. So it is a logic of while. So while loop. While loop is nothing but it is a looping statement. So the condition, whenever the condition is true, the corresponding same statement is executed repeatedly. So while condition and sequence, while condition and sequence, the condition is true, the corresponding statement is executed. So how many times is executed? It is based on condition. When the condition is turned into false, it automatically stops. Otherwise it is executed repeatedly. It is called the example of while loop. While loop. So it is a pre-test condition. It is a pre-test. First check the condition. Condition is true, the statement is executed. Okay, right. And the iteration logic is nothing but the repeat until. Repeat until is same. Repeat sequence until condition. So the corresponding statement is repeat until the condition is true or false. So based on the condition, the corresponding statement is repeated frequently. And the logic of for loop. For loop is very important. The for loop means it is a ICI process. It is a ICI means initialization and condition and increment process. So for it is taking it is initialize one variable first and check the condition. The condition is true, the corresponding statement is executed. Otherwise it is exit from the loop. So it is a process of for loop statement in pseudocode. So the rules for pseudocode, write only one statement per line. So it should be the only one. You should not the paragraph or any kind of the more conditions. It should not be appear. So the write only one statement or only one instruction per line. That is the first rule. So the example here, read name, hourly rate, hours worked and deduction rate. Everything is declared in a single line. Everything is declared in a single line. So it is called the one line description. That is the first rule. And the convert into pseudocode here, please note read and write is capital. So read, write, if, while, do while, and the programming codes or should be capitalized. There is a next rule. There is a next rule. Capitalize the initial keyword. Either it's a read or write or end if or else if or while, do while, everything. Everything should be capitalized. Everything should be capitalized. So it is the most important second rule. And the third rule is show the hierarchy. The hierarchy means is nothing but either it may be the sequence structure or a selection structure or looping structure. Sequence structure means 1 by 1 to next, 1 to 1 by 1. That is a sequence level of execution. Selection means either if condition or else if condition. It is like that. And looping means either it's a for loop or while loop or anything looping condition. So it's I intend to show the hierarchy. And fourth, it is example. Either the is gross is less than or greater than. Yes means one condition is execute, and no means another one condition is execute. So based on the condition, and here also read and if, else if. So these are the keywords. It should be capitalized. The read, write, and end if, else if, end if, everything. And the next rule is end multi-line structure. What is multi-line structure? The previous example is a multi-line structure. If gross pay is a greater than or equal to 100 and else and some statement either, and finally it's finished with end keyword. It is a multi-line. So all the multi-line should end finish with the end keyword, end if, end while, and anything else, end do while. So end is a it is a intimation on the finish of the multi-line. It is a fourth rule. Then fifth rule, keep statement logic independent. So it should be the independent logic, and it's not dependent any a single logic. It should be the most comfortable with any one language. So these are the rules of pseudocode. It's summarized with write only one statement per line, and it should be the capitalized keyword like read, write, while, do while, everything. And the intent to show the hierarchy, selection or selection, then sequence, and the iteration. And end multi-line, end if, end keyword used always used to finish the multi-line, and keep statement is language independent. So these are the summary of rules for the pseudocode. And the standard for good pseudocode means it should be follow the number of each instructions, and each instruction should be the unambiguous and the completeness. So these are the some rules and the properties of describe the corresponding pseudocode is good. And advantage is the following advantage: we can easily convert the pseudocode into programming language. Why? We are always using if, else, while, for loop. So everything is applied with the C programming code. So we can easily understand as well as convert into the C programming code. And also it is most easier compared with the flow chart. Flow chart means I want to change any one process. I have to remove the corresponding structure and redraw the structure, but here it's not necessary. We can easily rub and change the every content and everything. So then the limitation, there is some limitation, and it is also suffer from some of the limitations in case the pseudocode is not a graphical representation. First, it is not a graphical representation. It is some difficult to understand. So these are the limitation of pseudocode. And the symbols, we are using the grouping symbol and the exponent and the multiply, divide, add. These are the symbols also used in the pseudocode concept. The selection symbols means either it is greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or equal to, not equal to. This is a different symbol here, not equal to the last symbol. So these are the selection symbol we have used in the pseudocode, and it's a symbol and opposite, less than or greater than, greater than or equal to, and equal to and not equal to. So how to use the symbol in pseudocode? So that is a logical operator, either and or. And or, sir, what is and? What is and? What is or? So if any of the condition are false, so any of the condition is false, so entirely it will be the false. That means if day is Saturday and weather is sunny, so the day should be Saturday and the weather is also is same. So when both the condition is true, then only the corresponding statement is correct or true, otherwise it is false. But the or logical, either one, either any one statement is correct, the corresponding statement is true. Either the first, either if month equal to June, or month equal to July, or month equal to August. So in this statement, either the month is June or July or August, the statement is correct. But the and logic, the both statement should be correct, then only the corresponding statement is true. Not operator is not equal to, either if a day is not Saturday and not Sunday, and not Sunday, and means the both of the two conditions should be true, then only their statement will execute. It is a purpose of using not. And the flowchart, the next topic is flowchart. So it is completely graphical representation. Flowchart is easy to understand by using the graphical representation of each process. So it is a semantic representation of an algorithm, and the flowchart are used in designing and or documenting a process or program. So these are the symbols. These are the symbols we have used when you are write start and stop, the terminator symbol, and the process. So the process means that is the operations. Whenever the operation A equal to B plus C, that is the operation. A equal to A minus B, that is the operation. So all the operation should write within the process, rectangle symbol. That is the main thing. And the input and output operation always use the parallelogram symbol. So I want to read the values and I want to print the values, have to use the input output symbol. And if I am using the decision making, if condition or any other condition, I am using the decision diamond symbol. I am using the diamond symbol. When I am going to connect the two different flow chart, I am using the connector. I am using the connector, circle symbol. And the flow of lines means it is used to connect one symbol to another symbol. It is very important because the direction is based on the flow lines only. Either the direction is going to right or left or anything else. So the direction of lines is explained or describe the corresponding direction of flow chart. And the predefined process is nothing but the predefined of the values. For example, what is the value of pi? Pi is 3.14. So it's a predefined. So whenever I am using the pi value, the corresponding value is 3.14. So it is called the predefined process. These are the basic symbols. Yeah, it's input output symbol, parallelogram, and it's a process symbols used to perform all the operations. And the flow lines is very important, either it may be left to right or top to bottom or anything else. And annotation, it is a new symbol. Annotation means it's a command, nothing but I am writing C equal to A plus B means the addition, going to addition operation is performed. I am using this notation symbol to explain the particular operation about the command line. It is a command line notation. And the decision, if I am using the if condition means it's a decision diamond symbol used to take the decision. And the predefined, already I told, the predefined is already defined one variable or values. So terminals always you are using start with this symbol. When you are going to start or draw a flow chart, you should start with this symbol and stop with symbol. The connector is also used to connect two different flow chart, as well as used to connect the multiple lines also. And these are the other symbols, either the advanced symbols of document and multi-document, display, preparations, manual input, everything is these all the different kind of symbols used in flowchart. And another symbol, it's a start and a transfer and a sorted data, everything. These are the advanced symbols of flowchart. Okay, the important techniques for developing flowchart is nothing but it's clearly recognizable the symbol. The symbol should be clearly drawn. That is a main thing. It should be the visible, or the shape of the symbol is explain the particular operation. So it should be very clear. And the number of pages and the flowchart is sequentially. It is also complete with limited number of symbols to solve the problem. And when you guiding the code and change it to the necessary, so the corresponding code is exactly matched with the operation and input and output variables. So these are the important techniques or the ideas about to draw the flowchart. And here also I am using the sequence and the selection. Selection means either true or false, decision making. And while means there is a iteration, looping statement. While and do while and for, these are the looping statement. These are the three different logical structure is also applied in the flowchart concept. Okay, the example flowchart is nothing but here I am going to find the smallest of two numbers. So the algorithm, already I written the algorithm. Either read the input of number 1, number 2 and compared with number 1 less than number 2. So which one is the smallest number? See the diagram. The terminator symbol, that is a start, and it's a parallelogram symbol to read the values. So always the second step, read the value. Then only we have to perform the operation with the corresponding value. So here I am read the two values in a 1 by 1 line. Input the value of number 1 and number 2. Okay, you can use only one parallelogram symbol and read the both numbers. Read number 1 comma number 2. It is also correct. And take a decision tree. Why I am draw the diamond symbol? It is a decision. Either the number 1 is smallest or number 2 is smallest. So the direction is either it is true, the number 1 is smallest. Please note here I am using the same parallelogram symbol for output. So the input and the output is the parallelogram symbols, right? Finally I stop the corresponding flowchart method. So it is a simple flowchart drawing method, and it is a step to identify either using the if or a parallelogram symbol or a connected symbol, anything. The lot of symbol is available